Hi Sohail, this is the video feedback for your component 2 animation simulation. So looking at your work kind of exceeds the requirement, so you need to be wary of that. So I'm going to ignore the first kind of, well, all of that basically I'm going to ignore. Although that is some kind of establishing shot for your overall sequence. But the camera angle is really strange. It's kind of not it's not kind of focusing on this character, it's not focusing on this wall. You really got to be kind of more explicit and stronger with your camera shot selection, more decisive, basically to kind of show what it is that you're supposed to show or what it is that you're trying to show. And the purpose of that then becomes clear as the narrative or the story goes along. So be wary of that moving forward. The simulation, again, the simulation itself is fine, but this shot just kind of doesn't do anything for it. It doesn't really show the purpose of the ship. It shows the kind of character's midriff, and it shows this side of this bath as well. The water simulation itself is working, but again, because of the camera angle, you can't really see it fully working. And I also would have liked to have seen the kind of waves and the wake of the boat kind of going through the waves. That would have been uh, a lot more realistic in how this simulation overall is working. But my main concern with your work is the kind of randomness to it. So you've got this simulation there, which makes sense. There's a bath, character walks up to the bath. There's a boat in there, whether it's a toy boat or a realistic boat, whatever, that doesn't really matter because the simulation is working. But then there's this random cut shot. Just try to play that from there. To a towel falling down off a rail, and the shot here is just strange. And this must be a massive bathroom because I can see lots of space on either side, and then there's just this one radiator in the center. So it takes away from the believability of the overall narrative because there's no flow to it. So camera shot selection, the kind of simulation and finishing off the simulations that you've got in there, so making them fully believable. You've got ocean simulation in there, but there's kind of no wake or there's kind of no waves beyond when the boat pushes through the water. And then there's this random simulation of a towel just falling down. So it's all a bit all over the place. But saying that, this simulation does work, uh, and this simulation does work to an extent as well. But I think what you need to do is be way more clearer in your overall idea. Now that leads me on to the PDF document. First things first, where's the title? Where's your name? Where's the module title? And so on. You don't just start off your assignments, anything like that, without a title or its purpose, because if someone's reading it, they kind of don't know what it's about until they get halfway through and realize, oh, this must be simulation. Always have a title, always have the module name, always have your name in there so people know what it is. This would have been better off as an introduction, so this would have been your introduction section. And again, this is all really important moving forward into the final year production project. When you have your dissertation, you're going to have to start structuring your work more academically, so keep an eye out on that. The report itself is fine. It is a little bit kind of here's what I did, kind of Dear Diary, rather than why you chose those options. The idea of this document would have been that it's about reflection on your research. So you kind of introduce the concept. This is my overall story. Here's a storyboard of what I'm thinking about doing. Then I go away and do some research on that. So what would an ocean sim or a bath simulation look like? So kind of record yourself in a bath with not yourself in the bath, but record a toy in the bath. Maybe I'm sure you can get some visuals online, and then see how that then ties up into your overall narrative and see if it works. And you'd be able to tell a lot of that from the storyboard, so that when you come to this, you kind of already have an idea of what that does. And then you link your research to what you've done and how then that works. So you reflect back to, this was my initial idea, this is my research, this is how I've done it. Does it work? Yes or no? And you're able to answer that. So overall, I think the idea of it is fine. The execution somewhat needs a lot of development, and definitely your camera angles and shot types, staging of your sequences definitely need some work. So take that forward, and if you do have any questions, let me know.